Sorry for the inconvenience, and we are back again with our explanations. Okay, so now we will talk about the displacement of velocity, the transformation of velocity, sorry, not the displacement, sorry for my words. We will talk about the transformation of velocity here. The transformation of velocity. So remember our recent steps. So what we will going to do by now, we will gonna differentiate equation 1 with respect to time t. Well, I am not writing here because if I am gonna do that, the video could be lengthy. But it could be lengthy when I am explaining the things again and again and again. Well, get to the topic, saying dr dash over dt, and this could be equals to use said u dash. This is equals to what does it will equals to? It will equals to saying dr dash over dr over dt minus. Now the things comes to you. This is v vector only. Okay, you remember why? Because it has a component saying the time t component with it, so it will be differentiated, only the v remains and the time t, the differentiation of same quantity must be equals to 1, saying dx over dx is equals to 1, so dt over dt again equals to 1. So the remaining is the v here. What does it equals to? U dash here is u vector minus v vector. This is equation 2, which is the transformation of velocity equation. Yes, this is the velocity transformation equation here. Okay, so this is the velocity transformation. We got two equations here. Now what remains is, the remaining is the transformation of acceleration. Yes, very well. The only thing remains is the transformation of acceleration. We will gonna transform acceleration here. So what do? We will differentiate equation 2 with respect to time t again, and then we will find out the acceleration here. So let's find out what does the acceleration will equals to, saying du dash over dt, which is equals to, for example, saying the a dash, and this is equals to du over dt only. Why? Because this particular quantity will be equals to 0, because we remember that dv over dt, if you go through the dv over dt, then we assume that this particular secondary reference frame is moving with a constant velocity. Yes, this is moving with a constant velocity, but we used a different term saying that this velocity is uniform. So uniform means the same thing. You can say either it constant or either as uniform, because both of those have the same meaning, saying that either the quantity is uniform or the quantity is constant. That means that these quantities will do not change with respect to time or within the change in time. Okay, so let's come up with the example here. So what do we have? We have acceleration a dash in the frame s dash is equals to the acceleration a in the frame s. This is our another transformation equation, saying that I said this is equation 3, which is the transformation of acceleration. Yes, this is the transformation of acceleration. So what do we got from, or what do we concluded from all these calculation? We concluded that, let me be aside first to take a screenshot, then I will explain. Okay, so hope that you are done with the screenshot. So let me explain here. What do we have? Two reference frame, saying if you got my words, then you can skip this part, but let me explain it again. We have two reference frame, saying the primary frame s and the secondary frame s dash, and an instant happens at point p. I will not gonna explain the figure again. So we will come only to the mathematical expression, saying the transformation of displacement. And when we are talking about the transformation of displacement, then what do we have? We have this particular value r is equals to r dash plus r naught. Where did we got? We got it from the recent example, if you remember, and if you don't, then Go some time back and then you will find out. Okay. So this is the equation 1, which is the transformation of displacement. Then we will find out the transformation of velocity. So to finding out the transformation of velocity, we will going to differentiate this one, this particular quantity, the equation 1. Then we will find out this u dash is equals to u vector minus v vector. What is v vector here? V vector is the velocity of secondary reference frame. Okay, this is the velocity of secondary reference frame. This is the transformation of velocity. And now we are subjected to find out the transformation of acceleration. And to find out the transformation of acceleration, what do? We will differentiate equation 2 here. So differentiating equation 2 will equals to the acceleration in frame s dash, and what it will equals to? It will equals to the acceleration in frame s and no other quantity here. So what do we conclude? We concluded that in the transformation of displacement, the displacement will vary. Yes, the displacement in the frame s dash is not same as that in the frame s. Okay. So the displacement in secondary reference frame is not equal to the displacement in primary reference frame. There is some quantity saying this quantity is the change. This is the change. And when we are talking about the transformation of velocity, then we find out within the last example, we remember that our transformation of velocity was the same, but this time the transformation has one more velocity factor here. So it means the transformation of velocity is not the same, because the velocity in the secondary frame s dash is not equal to the velocity in the primary frame s. Okay, so velocity is not the same. Then we are switched to the transformation of acceleration, and when we are talking about the transformation of acceleration, then we find out that the acceleration in frame s dash is equals to the acceleration in frame s. It means the acceleration in secondary frame of reference is equals to the acceleration in primary frame of reference. I hope that you got my words, and if you got so, then like this video and subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for more videos. Well, we are not going to skip here. We have some more examples to discuss by now. So if you got my words, you can take a screenshot, then I will clear this off. And if you have already taken, so I think I must go and clear this off. Okay, now we have some new transformation here, which is certainly different from the recent transformations. Let me clear this off and then we will talk about them. Well, if you see all these mathematicals or all these explanations, then you can say that mechanics is not so very hard paper and not so easy one, because the things will be complicated, the complicated things will be coming shortly, and then let's see and let's find out then that what we have here. Okay, so we have new transformation condition here, which is the transformation in an inclined reference frame. What if a reference frame has the same origins but inclined by some angle? So let's find out what do we get here. Transformation in inclined reference frame. This is our heading. Transformation in inclined reference frames. We will talk about this example in two steps. The first one is the two-dimensional transformation, and then the second one saying the three-dimensional transformation. So let's find out what is the two-dimensional transformation and the three-dimensional transformation. Two-dimensional transformation. So let's see what will be the value of a two-dimensional transformation, how the two-dimensional transformation will be discussed. So we have a reference frame the x, y and z axis saying our primary frame of reference, and it is as it is the two-dimensional transformation, then we can say that the z axis of both of these reference frames should be the same. So this line which is representing the z direction will also represent the direction of z dash, and let's say this is the frame S. So we have an inclined frame of reference saying S dash. This is S dash reference frame. Okay, this is the frame S dash, and let's say this is inclined with an angle theta with respect to our primary frame of reference, let's say, which is the frame S. So we have two reference frames here. This is our primary reference frame, and this one S dash is our secondary reference frame here. Okay, this is S dash, and this reference frame, the secondary reference frame, is inclined with an angle theta, saying this is the angle theta here. Yes, this is inclined with this angle. So now we are supposed to found out all those transformation equations which we have discussed about the recent translations. So let's say we have a point P here. Again, the point P is the same. Let's say the point P is here. Here we have a point P. So we have the axis saying the x, y and z first, and for the second time we say x dash, y dash, but the z is the same. Or you can say which is the z dash. That doesn't mean at all, because we are going through a two-dimensional transformation. Okay. So let's say we are drawing the position vectors. Okay, so the distance, this distance, I am not good at drawing at all. Let's say this is the distance x, and this should be the distance y. Okay, you can see we are not talking about the displacement z for sure. Well, we are not subjected to write z also here, because that doesn't mean, if you write that doesn't mean, or if you don't write, then it should not be calculated or not should be counted here. Okay, so these are the axes. Well, also if I draw a line like this and one like this, then this line will represent the displacement x dash, and this line will represent the displacement y dash. Consider it here. This is y dash. Sorry, I got the wrong marker here. This is y dash and this is x dash. Okay, these are the two distances. So let me mark it with the symbol saying the A, B, C, D or such like this, saying this is the A, B, C and D. This is A, this is B, this is C, and this is point D here. So by now we are going to have some literal complications, so that we are going to draw some lines to achieve our right angle triangles, so that we can apply trigonometric rules and then we can go to an axial transformation. So for find out those axial transformation, let's draw a perpendicular on this arm from point A. Let's say this is the perpendicular here, and if strikes it at point E here and point F here, then you can say that this is also a perpendicular, because both of these lines are parallel to each other. So a line intersecting two parallel lines will result in having two same angles, the theory of alternating angles. Okay, so this is what it is, the angle E and the angle F. Consider these all in your minds, because these will gonna help us to calculate our transformation equations. Okay, so within this example we have the value of x dash and y dash saying, so what should be x dash? The x dash, if you can see that the distance P to D, or you can say that C to O, PD or OC is the distance for x dash, and similarly for y dash the the distance must be, for y dash the distance must be the PC or DO. Okay, we are subjected to find out the distance x, for example, saying the distance x. What should be the distance x? Saying the BP equals to OA and the displacement y, the distance y, for example, should be said as PA or the AP. This is not Andhra Pradesh here, this is AP, okay, and OB. Let's say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Okay, so now we will have to find out the relation between the equation 1 and the equation 2, and first we find out the transformation of displacement, then we will go to find out our transformation of velocity and acceleration are assumed to be understood here. So let's find out and proceed further, saying in triangle OAE, this is the triangle OAE, so this should be the triangle here. In triangle OAE, this is again a perpendicular triangle or the right angle triangle here, and this angle E is again the right angle, and angle theta is the angle of inclination, if you remember. So we are subjected to find out the displacement here in sense of OA. For example, we are subjected to find out the displacement OA. So finding out the OA, what should be the value of OA equals to? Well, 1 minute. Okay, yes. OE upon OA is equals to, this is the base, this is the aligned base, and this is the hypotenuse here. So base upon hypotenuse will lead you having the value of cosine of theta, saying this is the cosine of theta. Okay, this is the value of OA and EA. So value of OE will be equals to x cos of theta. This is equation 3. We have find out the value of OE. Well, I have one secret for you, saying that two arms must be equal here, but this is not possible because one angle is the right angle and two angles might be 45 degree, but not 45 degree, as it is it's not possible here. And again we have a value saying AE over OA. One more value here, AE OA, this is equals to the sine of theta, and AE will again equals to the x sine of theta, which is the equation 4 here. We will gonna use these values, saying the values for OE and the values for AE. Keep it in mind. Again we have the right angle triangle FAP. Well, we have find out this value. So the triangle F, this is F, A and P. We will gonna use this triangle, the triangle FAP, and the right angle is angle F is the right angle here within this triangle. So let's find out what do we have for this triangle, saying in triangle in right angle triangle, this is also a right angle. In right angle triangle FAP. Okay, so let's find out what do we have here in the triangle FAP. Let's say FA or the AF over AP. This is again the angle theta here. Why does this angle becomes equals to theta? Because this angle and this angle, these two angles must be equals to the 90 degree. Yes, and subtracting from 90 degree this value theta, what does this angle will equals to? This will equals to theta again. Okay, so this angle will again approach to theta. There is one more equation that remains for the triangle OAE. You can got this from your book or from your textbook. So for the right angle triangle FAP, we are going to find out the value AF and the value FP. So let's say AF over AP. AF is again the base here, AP is the hypotenuse. So this will equals to the cosine of theta, and AF, so AF will equals to what is this value equals to? This value equals to y. This is equals to y cos of theta. Y cos of theta, this is equation 5. And this is for the AF, and so what is the time? This is the time for FP. FP over AP is equal to sine of theta. So FP is equals to y sine of theta. This is equation 6. Yes, this is equation 6 here. We have equation 3, 4, 5 and 6, and we will gonna use all those equations. We have said that x dash is equal to PD and y dash is equals to this. So we will gonna use all these equations here for the x dash saying which is equals to the PD, and the value which is saying that the equals to what does equals to, it equals to the value PC here. We have two values here. Okay, so keep all these equations in mind. Well, I need a workspace, so may I clear this off? Yes, I can, I must, because we need some space here. Okay, well, this is no longer needed. You can consider this, the z axis has the same direction, so that doesn't mean if you draw it or not. Okay, x dash is equals to PD, this is the P to D, and you can say this is equals to PF plus FD. This is the distance PF here, and this is the distance FD here. So the figure is going pretty much complicated. Well, you can adjust because I have explained the figure earlier. So well, we do not need it more here. And you can say that this is equals to PF plus what does FD equals to? This is equals to OE, and we have the values for OE here and the values for FP here. This is the FP, this is FP, and this is OE. We are going to use these values. So what would be the value of x dash? The value of x dash will be equals to PF is equals to, well, PF is equals to y sine of theta, and OE is equals to x cos of theta. Y sine of theta plus x cos of theta. Okay, let's say this is equation 7. Also for y dash, y dash is equals to PC. Y dash is equals to PC, and PC is equals to, this is the PC, and PC is equals to, you can say this is equals to FE or OD. Okay, PC is equals to FE. Yes, PC is equals to FE. Yes, this is FE, or maybe some sort you can say this is equals to OD, but OD doesn't means to us. The thing means to us is the FE. We will gonna find out the value of FE here. So what does FE will equals to? This should be equals to AF minus AE. Yes, yes, this is equals to AF minus AE. So do we have the values of AF and AE? Yes, we have the values of AF. This is the value AF and this is the value AE. Okay, so put all these values and we will find out the value for y dash also. So y dash will equals to AF is equals to x sine of theta. This is the x sine of theta minus AE. Sorry, AF is equals to y cos of theta. AF, this is AF which is equals to y cos of theta minus AE, this is equals to x sine of theta. Well, this is equation 8 here. This is equation 8. So we have find out the translation for displacement. This is the value x dash and this is for the value y dash. We have two values here, the value for x dash and the value for y dash, and this is the transformation in 2 dimension. So now we are subjected to calculate the transformation in 3 dimensions. So let me be aside, you can take a screenshot for your reference and then we will proceed further. Okay, so hope you're done with the screenshot. So let me say we have one thing more remains here. We will justify all these values theta here. What thing we said theta is equals to? Well, I need a workspace, so I am clearing off this side. Okay, we have cleared this off. So what do we have? We will discuss about what we have is the value of x dash. Sorry, this is not the value x dash saying. Okay. So the value of x dash will equals to, this is the x dash saying y sine of plus x cos of. So what should be the value of theta here? If you are going through the y sine of theta, then theta must be equals to y o y dash. Yes, I can say this is equals to y o y dash, sorry, x dash o y sine of theta. X dash is equals to x cos of x dash ox and x dash oy. Okay. Similarly for y dash, you can say y dash, this is equals to y cos of plus x sine of. So what should be the values here? The values would be x cos of y dash oy, and this is y dash ox. Yes, this is the y dash ox for this one. So these are the values, and these are the real values for the transformation of displacement here. The transformation of displacement for two reference frames which have an inclination saying the angle theta for the inclination, and these are do not moving same, either they have the same same z axis values. So it means this is for the 2-dimensional transformation. So what if there is a 3-dimensional transformation? I am going to use these two equations here. Let's say these are the equations, say these are the equations A and equation B for reference. So we are going to use these equations. So let me clear this off again. We do not need it pretty much more here. I don't think so that we need this one diagram also, because you can consider that there is one more inclination for the z axis also. Okay, the kind of inclination we have is, let me clear this off again because we do not need all these sheets here. So students, all of you are subjected that if you have a clear mind and going to know the concepts, then you do not need any more explanation, or you do not need the bundles of explanation. You will go the thing for the one time and then you will got all this. The 3-dimensional transformation. For the 3-dimensional transformation, I am just drawing the axis here. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, and this one is the z-axis, and this is the origin. So this is the x dash axis, this is again the y dash axis, and this is again the z dash axis. All have an inclination, same inclination, saying the inclination theta for all these dimensions, and we will going to use these equations and find out that what does it solve will up to. Okay. If you see these equations in your mind, let's say x dash will equals to x cos of some angle here. Yes, x cos of some angle here. Well, all these angles will be in cos theta, sorry. X cos of plus y cos of plus z cos of some angles. We will going to fill them step by step. Y dash saying x cos of plus y cos of plus z cos of. Okay, one quantity should be negative here. Which one? Well, that doesn't mean here. Z dash x cos of some angle plus y cos of some angle plus z cos of some angle. So what should be the values of angles here? I am filling them step by step using our previous example. This example, I am using this example saying this should be x dash ox for x dash, x dash oy for y, and x dash oz for z. Okay, so this is what we are going to, in the same order we will fill here. Y dash ox, y dash oy, y dash oz, and same thing z dash ox, z dash oy, and z dash oz. Okay, so these are the transformation equations for displacement in 3 dimensions. Well, we have the transformation equation. So what do if we are going to use we are going to represent these equations in matrix form. So let's say representing in the matrix form, say in matrix form, x dash, y dash or z dash, these must be equals to saying some parameters, saying this is a11, this is a12, this is a13, and okay, let's say this is a11, a12, a13, a21, a22, a23, a31, a32, and a33, and this is again the x, y, and z here. Okay, so this is all what it is up to, and this is the matrix representation, and this particular matrix here, this matrix is termed as the direction cosine matrix. This is the matrix of direction cosines, because all these represents, this is a11, this is a12, this is a13, and all these will represent the direction cosines. So these are the cos theta, because cos theta representing here the directions. So this is the matrix of direction cosines. Okay, so this is for the three-dimensional representation for the transformation of displacement. And now we are subjected to find out the transformation of velocities and then the transformation of acceleration. Well, let's find out what does these values equals to. You can take a screenshot, then I will proceed further. Well, I hope that you are done with the screenshot, so let me clear this off. Okay. So now we are going to find out the transformation of velocities using these equations. So what should be the value of transformation of velocities? Well, the transformation of velocities will equals to the derivative of these equations. Okay, so we are subjected to differentiate these equations, then we will find out the velocity vector here, and we are writing the velocity vector in the same sense, saying this must be equals to the vx dash, vy dash, vz dash, and this is again equals to the same things, a11, a12, a23, a21, a22, a23, a31, a32, and a33, and these are against which is the vx, vy, and vz. This is the transformation of velocity. Well, this is not so much complicated and not so much notation here. Okay, so this is time for us to find out the transformation of acceleration. So what should be the value of transformation of acceleration? This is the transformation of velocity. We will again differentiate this value. If you can see the things practically, then you will say that these frames are inclined with some angles and they are not moving either. So the transformation of acceleration or the acceleration for these frames must be equals to 0. So let's find out how the things will be 0. Saying the transformation of acceleration. What should be the value of transformation of acceleration? Okay, let's find out the value of transformation of acceleration. We will differentiate all these equations again, and what do we will have? We'll have, let's say we are representing this from the f dash x. So what do we have? We have a11 f of x, a12 f of y plus a13 f of z. So similarly in matrix form, what do we will have? Well, you know all these values, the acceleration in ax direction or the acceleration in y direction or the acceleration in z direction, all these values will approach to 0. All these values approach to 0. So that doesn't mean the acceleration will exist or not. The acceleration certainly will not exist. So we do not need to go through an matrix form. So what do we have? Since f of x is equals to f of y is equal to f of z is equals to 0. So f of x dash is equals to f of y dash is equals to f of z dash will again equals to 0. So this is what is the transformation of acceleration, and the remaining things are saying the transformation of 2 dimension to 3 dimension. Okay, so this is it. So this is all for today's lecture. I hope that you got all my concepts here. You can take a screenshot for your reference, then we will end up our lecture here. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture, and thank you for watching the video. This is the lecture second for the mechanics here, and if you enjoy learning from this video, then you can subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. And if you think that you really like the video or you really like the concept which we have discussed within this video, then you can like it, and either you can give a dislike if you think so. That doesn't mean at all. So thank you very much again for watching this video. Have a great day ahead and a happy learning.